Good morning. Well, I don't know if it's going to be good morning when you see it. Maybe good evening, good afternoon, all that jazz. It's New Year's Day, New Year, all that jazz. So in this video, I'm going to explain my thought process and how I'm going to do things going forward. I'm not going to do the usual New Year, New Me bullshit, because normally after a couple of days, if you don't aim to be where you want to be, that affects you, and then you end up resenting yourself, and then you tend to be more negative, and it's just like a snowball effect. So for this year, I'm going to be adopting a new thing that I found out yesterday. Been reading into it quite a lot. It's called the non-thriving approach. So the principles of it is you accept that you are who you are. Because a lot of us tend to be, we wish we were someone else, but we're not. Like, for example, you see each other on Instagram, you see your mates, a lot of them are just hyper focused on goals. I tend to do that, but then it can draw a negative effect because you're comparing yourself to someone else, you're not where they are, so then you end up either working harder to be where they want to be, or you end up just comparing yourself and being in a negative. So the principles of the non-thriving approach is that you are who you are. You understand that yes, you've got goals, but you're not hyper fixed on achieving those. You let those happen in their own time, because what you end up doing is, say, like for example, last year I wanted to do 30k turnover. Didn't hit it, but the constant chase of it was wearing me down and burning me out, because you could track too much, because you could be thinking, right, I should be at this level right now. Whereas with eBay, some days you have bad days, but those bad days tend to be like, oh no, I should be where I am. And then you tend to just go into a negative spiral. If you focus on the being, the journey, and you let those goals unfold on their own. Now, I'm not saying you just be lazy and don't do anything. You focus on things as a journey, as a way of getting there. You do the right things, but you don't put too much pressure on yourself to get there. Like, I, for one, will do a huge to-do list, and about halfway through I'll burn myself out, and I'm thinking sometimes you can overestimate your capability, because there's loads of days I've gone, right, I'm going to do photographing, listing, drafting, posting, and a lot of other things, but then I get to a point where I haven't achieved what I wanted to do, so then I end up burning myself out because I thought I could do it. Yeah, and even if you sort of task yourself a small thing to do per day, maybe, then once you tick that off, you can kind of go about the rest of your day. Like, I've always found the more that I've chased stuff, the more it didn't happen, because you get too caught up in chasing it, things happen, and then you either crumble or you push through it, but it's still not a good way of doing it. So, like, yeah, I've got goals, but I know they will happen. Like, when you have a certain turnover goal and you see that and you just constantly aim for it and aim for it and aim for it, you could block out a lot of other things, like your personal life, looking after yourself, neglecting meeting mates, neglecting having days off, neglecting so many other things because you're so hyper fixated. And sometimes you can't control things. Like, you can't control when Royal Mail's down or a bad sales day. Like, yeah, you could do so much to get a good listing, a good photograph, a good everything like that, but you still are waiting for that sale. So I know it's good to have so many listings, and if you constantly just do that gradually, it will come. But a lot of the times we get into a place where you have maybe a bad week and sales aren't where you want to be, then you constantly overthink everything, going, right, why isn't this happening? And then you end up sometimes changing your whole business model because of one bad week, and then you change it and then that doesn't work, so you change back, and then you just constantly in a cycle of why. it could even work in YouTube, because you could maybe have a banging video, work weeks, days, months on a video, and then you might not get any views because that's out of your control. I mean, yeah, you could draw people and do the thumbnail and all that kind of stuff, but some people just might not click on it, and then you constantly think, why? Like, that's out of your control. The process of non-thriving approach is accepting a lot of this stuff isn't in your control. A lot of stuff is, like posting on time and doing your listings, but a lot of the other stuff you can't do a lot about. Some stuff. This method adopts a beginner's approach, so you kind of start from fresh in a way where you do what you do, whatever happens happens. Like, if you make a mistake, that's fine, just carry on. Like, you're gonna have bad days, you're gonna have good days. With, like, for example, with eBay, you could have a really bad day, but you could have an amazing 2 days which will cover the bad days. I know I'm waffling a lot, but like last year I did 21.5k. Like last year I did 21.5k, which I thought was quite bad for myself, being like brutally honest. I thought I wanted 30k. I wanted focus so much on it. I think it was detrimental to the store because I was rushing success. I was pushing too hard, whereas maybe I should just, like, one day just did the listings and then just moved on and then doing more stuff for myself. Instead, I would just sit there, do more listings, do more tweaking, do more, and then I ended up didn't enjoy eBay. Whereas I think, like, a lot of us do eBay because we enjoy it. A lot of people do YouTube because we enjoy it. Like, I know people have businesses built around eBay and YouTube and maybe other platforms, but I think when it becomes too much of a grind, you end up disliking it and you end up dreading it, and then you just work yourself up over certain things. So that's my thought process for the next, well, not next year, from this year going forward, is that, one, I don't know whether anyone else is going to be thinking of this stuff as well, but it's more of it's the process of the journey and the being, rather than hyper fixating on your goals. Like, it's great to have goals, but if you like, tracking every day could be quite negative in a way, because even, like, everyone says, like, all these business gurus and all that stuff, is that you need to track your bank account every day, you need to track this every day, you need to track so much, you need to control so much. But sometimes you can't control everything. Like, you could just check your bank account every day. It hasn't changed, or it's gradually built a little bit. But in your head, you're thinking, it's not where I want to be, or sales didn't get to that point, so I'm already behind. The constant feeling of being behind is quite negative. So you kind of just need to, okay, right, that's happening, let's move on. Like, the constant need to overachieve and the hustle mentality can also be depressing in a way, because you put everything to one side and you focus on that one thing, and you can do your best to aim and hit those things, but also you could also make yourself ill, you could burn yourself out, you could neglect, like, a lot of people take up eBay and be self-employed and all these kind of things so they could work around their life, or they could choose when they want to work, and they can do things like travel, go places, do all these things that they want to do. But sometimes if you're hyper fixated on a certain goal or turnover or other stuff, totally forget all that stuff and then just constantly be in work mode 24/7. Like, I was quite bad last year. I didn't really give myself any days off. I thought I would, and then I planned to. Like, last year I was really bad. I didn't give myself any days off because I was working loads, and then I was constantly working myself up because I was in work. I couldn't do more work on eBay. So then when I was off from work, I was pushing eBay too much, and then I ended up being, well, I weren't behind, but I felt like I was behind. So then even when I had a day off and I thought I'm gonna have a day off, I'd have like a bad eBay day on the day before, and then I thought, right, I'll make up for it today, I'll have a day off another time. And then I just constantly doing that, and then I just constantly thought, the more I do now, the closer to the goal that I would, which in theory, yes, it would, because you're getting ahead. But sometimes if you get too far ahead, you don't realise where you are. Like, you could have a draft bank of maybe 2 weeks, but then sometimes you're in your head going, yeah, but what if this happens? Or what if that happens? And then you just constantly push yourself, not being grateful that I got drafts today, I'm going to use them. I'm going to use the drafts today, I'm going to have day off, I'm going to do no eBay. But you're just constantly worrying and constantly thinking that I need to be this, I need to get to this level, I need to do this. So that, like, even with YouTube, I didn't hit 1,000 subscribers. I thought it would. That pissed me off. And then I thought, right, I'm going to lower the goal, I'm going to do 500. But that didn't happen either. I was putting out daily videos, I was doing this, I was doing that, trying to copy videos just so I could be in that sort of same bracket so it'd get more views. But it didn't work. It just didn't work. I lost the joy of making videos because I was constantly chasing a number rather than enjoying the process. So that's going to be the goal for this year, is just to exist, if you want to put it like that. Like, the non-thriving approach, I think everyone should look into it. Knowing that things unfold without your control. Sales, like, you could wake up one moment and have £1,000 sale, or you could wake up and have a £10 sale, but then that £10 sale already gets you in a bad mood, and then you just end up pissed off the rest of the day or annoyed. That's my approach for next year. I know it's different for everyone. Like, some people can do it, like they could be in that hyper fixated thing but also know that there's a balance and they can do all that kind of stuff. I can't. I'm all in on nothing kind of person, so I need to be more easier on myself to get there when I get there, not get there when I want to get there. It's more of a case of when it happens, it happens. A lot of the goals can be passed on, but I know that if I don't hit them, it's not the end of the world. You just do it the next year. These things happen when they happen. You can't just go, right, I'm going to do it, and then by this point I'm going to fucking be where I want to be. Like, sometimes you could over chase things. Like, even when you buy stuff, like I've overbought stuff because I'd have maybe a bad day and I think maybe it's not the best stuff that I got on, maybe it's the quality, so I end up buying more stuff. It might take me a while just to get them listed, so I end up having a backlog because listing them enough, or I haven't got the time because I'm focusing on these other things. And then when I end up listing that one thing, it could sell straight away, but then I'm just constantly thinking, well, what about this other stuff? Or what about this? What about if I did it this way? Or what about if I had a new process? I've changed my processing so much over the last few years. I think I've got it to a good place now. It is what it is. It's what I got. I have, like, looked at other people and got jealous because I don't have what they got. I haven't got a warehouse, I haven't got a shop, I haven't got a unit. I've got what I got. I'd just burn myself out because I'd be chasing and chasing and chasing. Whereas if I naturally did things and I just did things daily, gradual, I'll get there. That's the goal for 2025, is the non-thriving approach. I'm going to leave some notes underneath about it, how it works. Bit of a weird one. Yeah, these are the kind of videos that I'm going to be, well, the type of videos that I'm going to be putting out soon. I'm going to think, because the picking and the packing videos that I've done before, I fucking hated them. Rushing to do them just before work and all that kind of stuff, and then I didn't really enjoy them, and then I didn't get the views that I wanted. So then, yeah. So 2025 is just exist and just understand that all these stuff will unfold when it happens. Everything happens for a reason. But I know everyone's different. Everyone might do the whole hustle mentality and might be fine. But for me, this is how I'm going to do it. Hope everyone had a good New Year's. Hope everyone watched some good fireworks. Hope everyone is enjoying that free time. Don't know whether people are starting to go back to work and stuff. So anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below if you are doing anything similar. If you got any other stuff going on. Any other stuff that you think might be helpful to other people. Just comment below your plans for this year, your goals, how you're going to achieve those, all that kind of stuff. So thank you for watching. I know it's a long one. I thought I'd just get it out there because... So thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-ra.